Hey there, Andy here. Welcome back to VR Man Cave. VR is the type of thing that has to be experienced to fully understand what it really has to offer. But what if you want to show off some awesome gameplay to your family or friends? Or maybe you wish to give VR streaming a go on a platform like Twitch. Either way, you've clicked on the right video because today we're gonna go through multiple ways to record and stream Quest 2 gameplay, as well as some tips and tricks to get the most out of it. So let's go! Since this video is all about recording, by the way, you may have already noticed from the intro, or at least I hope you did, but I've seriously upgraded my setup with a proper camera, so no more using my phone to record the videos for you, and an awesome shotgun mic that is just out of frame right here. Let me know in the comments down below if you do notice a difference between this video and my previous videos. Now onto the tutorial. We're gonna start off with the easiest way to record Quest 2 gameplay, but simplicity doesn't always mean the best quality, so I'm going to explain what my preferred method of recording VR gameplay on my Quest 2 is, so that you can choose the best option for your needs. First of all, you may or may not know that your headset has a native way to quickly record gameplay in just 2 or 3 clicks. So let's briefly go through that and then we'll move on to the more professional ways of doing it. Whether you're in a menu or already in a game, just press the Oculus button on your right controller to bring up the menu and then click on the sharing button right next to settings. From there, just click on record video and you'll see a red dot appear on the top right corner, which lets you know you're currently recording. To stop the recording, just press that same button again and the footage will be saved to your internal storage. Now there are 2 ways to actually download that recording so that you can share it with your friends, post it on YouTube, or do whatever you want with it. The first way is to just connect your Quest to your PC or laptop and hit yes on the prompt you'll see in the headset to allow your PC to read and write data to your Quest. Once you do this, you'll see it pop up on your computer like any other storage device such as a USB drive. Navigate to the Oculus folder on your device and then Video Shots. Here you should see all of your recordings. The names are based on where you started recording, so if you want to make it easier on yourself to identify which ones are which, then start recording after entering the game, and this way the file will be named according to the game. Otherwise it's just gonna say something like com.oculus.something. The second and arguably simpler option is to use SideQuest to access and download your files. It has a nice and easy drag and drop interface, but to be honest, it's not that different when it comes to the process. So it's pretty much a matter of preference. Okay, so now you have the recording on your computer. You double click it and realize it's a square format instead of widescreen, which pretty much leaves you with 3 options. You can either use it as it is, zoom in using a video editing software, but you'll end up losing some top and bottom real estate. Or the third option would be to duplicate the video, put it behind your original footage, zoom in and blur it out to kind of fill the screen. So even though many YouTubers actually do this, and myself included in some cases, I personally think it doesn't look great and there's a much better option that I definitely prefer. Now, before we move on to my go-to method for recording gameplay, some of you may have noticed another issue with recording straight from the record button in the Quest, which is that sometimes, especially on longer recordings, the audio may start in sync with the video but starts to slowly drift and ends up being completely off. And the reason for that is pretty simple, which is the video is recorded at a variable frame rate, which means it might start off at 90 FPS, but depending on how demanding one part of the game is, it might dip to 70 FPS, then go back to 80 and so on. While the audio is recorded at a constant frame rate, which causes the two to become out of sync. Unfortunately, I don't have a quick fix for you for the audio delay issue while using this method of recording, and the only option is to either record shorter bursts and hope the sync issue doesn't become too noticeable, or just take the footage into a video editing software and manually synchronize it, which I promise you is a pain in the... Now onto the slightly more complicated way of doing it, but also my preferred method since it has 0 audio sync issues and records in widescreen high quality format. But first, a quick shameless plug for my new Discord server. It's an awesome community of VR lovers where we can hang out and play multiplayer games together, so check out the first link in the description because I'd love to see you there. Now back to the main topic. In the same sharing tab where you have the record video button I told you about earlier, you also have a cast button which allows you to cast to Chromecast enabled TVs and other devices, as well as to your browser via oculus.com/cast. But I personally prefer using a piece of software that actually emulates Chromecast on your PC. There are multiple ones on the market, but I'm using one called VRCover, which emulates Chromecast, Miracast, and Apple AirPlay, which means you can pretty much cast any device you have in your house directly to your computer screen with very little latency. And that of course includes your Quest 2. To do this, install whatever software you prefer, in my case VRCover, give it a name that you'll easily recognize and hit the cast button inside the sharing menu of the Quest 2. And then select the computer name you've just chosen. You should now see your Oculus Quest screen being mirrored to your computer. From this point, you can pretty much use whichever screen capture software you want. I personally use OBS Studio, which is completely free and offers a ton of flexibility. All you need to do is open it up, create a scene which we'll call Quest Screen Capture, then in the Sources tab, create a new source and select Game Capture. In the drop-down menu, select Choose a specific window, and this will be either your browser or a software like VRCover, depending on your choice. Add an audio source to capture the game audio, and depending on your use case, one for your microphone for voiceovers. Now you can reposition everything the way you want, and then you're ready to either record or start streaming this footage to Twitch, YouTube, or whichever other platform you want. I'd recommend you try it out with a friend first to make sure everything works perfectly, and in case for some reason you still have some audio delay, then you can easily fix that within OBS using the sync offset feature, which can be found by clicking on the audio output source, then hit the cogwheel and advanced audio properties, and you'll see it right there. Of course, as always, even though I'm not an expert by any means, feel free to ask me anything in the comments down below because I always reply to every single comment and try to help as much as I possibly can. I hope this tutorial was useful, and now feel free to check out one of my other videos by clicking either here or here to choose what to watch next. Thank you so much for watching, stay well and enjoy VR. I'll see you soon. Cheers!